It's bloody out there, guys. The crypto and stock market are in the red as fears of a tariff war are putting a damper on the market. But what will happen in the remainder of February? Will we see a recovery or further downside? I want to share some charts, indicators, and signals and tell you what may happen next. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, great to be back. I was traveling as mentioned on Tuesday, and I came back just a day or two ago and came back to a bloody market as we have some macro headwinds with the trade wars and much more. So let's jump into the data and information here. So we have over $188 billion that was wiped out from the crypto market. This is leverage essentially that's getting wiped out. If you're holding spot, you're fine because yes, the value goes down, but you're not getting liquidated and losing your position and money and all that stuff. So this is not exclusive to the crypto market. There's of course the macro headwinds that we're facing with tariff wars with the US versus Mexico, Canada, and even China. So these things are causing the market to sell off. You're seeing the DXYs finding strength here. And you look at the crypto market cap, it's bleeding out, Bitcoin down, and the alts, of course, they bleed out even worse. But it's, the inverse when Bitcoin's going up, right? The alts outperform Bitcoin, but they often bleed out really bad when Bitcoin's going down. So this is why I always tell you guys Bitcoin moves the market and is the leader of the market. And that's based on data, folks. So Bitcoin, if you look on the daily chart, no invalidation of the bull market. Once again, no feelings or emotions. I'm here to make money, but if there's something to sound the alarm on, I would tell you guys like, hey man, this thing is over. Something's wrong here, right? But nothing's invalidated here. This is just further volatility, and Bitcoin is still above the 200-week moving average when you zoom out on the macro, which is often when it's in a bull market. So we're still in the bull market, guys. And then when you look at the Bitcoin monthly chart, the RSI is not even touching the levels it has touched in the past. It's not in the green zone yet. So there's still further upside here based on the data. Now, as mentioned, the stock market and everything's down. So it's not just specific to the crypto market. We just got to let the dust settle here with all this tariff war stuff. Now, one analyst, Bob Lucas, had highlighted that he was anticipating significant downside after the big Q4 run up that we had, and it went up about 105%, talking about Bitcoin now. We're using Bitcoin as the measuring stick. And he thinks that this correction and this type of situation could run until the end of February. I hope not. I hope we see a balance because seasonality wise, Bitcoin, has done pretty well in the years following the halving in a bull market. So we'll see. We could see some sort of V-shaped recovery sooner than later. Now, Crypto Wizard, another great analyst, said, fearful, remember to breathe. He says, we're still in a range. Bitcoin has experienced several ranges. Each time they were left behind. He said here, above $108,000, Bitcoin's going to rocket to 120, and below 91.5K, it'll head to 83K, block out the noise. So we're still in the respective ranges of the price action, and once again, no invalidation of the bull market. Now, you're probably going to see in the comments and on social media, the bears are going to start saying, it's over, the top's in. But notice that many times they don't share any signals, data, or charts. They just put out the sentiment to get you fearful. They want to shake you out, want you to sell because they're shorting the market. So always make sure that you have people showing you data, charts, actual breakdowns, right? That's so important because it's easy to get caught up in narratives. You will probably see in the comment section of this respective video, a bunch of people saying it's over, you're dumb, you're an idiot, it's done, see, I told you, blah, blah, blah. But they don't actually share any data, right? They're just sharing sentiment. Now let's look at some data points and indicators that have shown us the top in the past. The Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator has not flashed. So we're not even close to how we've seen the peak in 2017. Actually, I should say 2014. 2017 and 2021, of course. Now we are on our way up. We're in the in the trajectory of moving up towards that cross, but it has not flashed as yet. And obviously, I already told you guys about the monthly RSI and the 200-week moving average. Now, what are the whales doing? The guys who actually move the market. Well, Bitcoin whales with wallets of 10 plus or more Bitcoin, they're not dumping, but they have slowed their accumulation. You look at the data from sentiment, it's plateauing here. Now, we've seen some plateauing going back to even December, and then we saw a spike into January, and now we're seeing another plateau. The key thing here is, are they dumping, right? Is that number going down? They're exiting the market? They are not. So while the accumulation may have slowed down, they're not exiting, and supply in exchanges continues to go down. So this information works hand in hand with the wallet amounts, because if they're moving coins back on the exchanges, that means they're ready to dump. Or sell, I should say, not dump, but so we're not seeing a spike in that. So that's a good sign. And then when you look at the Bitcoin yearly candles now, this is the super macro. We're in that third year of that bull market, right? It's usually 1 year of red candle after a bull market and 3 years of green candles. So we're still showing some green here, guys. And the expectation is that we're going to see some significant gains into this year. So this is why you got to look at the market from a macro standpoint. Because if you're looking at the hourly, 1 minute, daily, weekly, it's going to be brutal. And this is the time I would give the advice of step away from the market. Don't even look at it. Or I didn't even look at my portfolio today. And I'm being honest. And I am up. Like, don't get me wrong. My portfolio is up significantly, but I'm looking for further gains. But to see it drop down, it's obviously not a great thing. And I'm sure many of you would agree with me there. So this is where you got to exercise patience. You got to look at the macro, look at the data, check your emotions at the door. Don't look at your portfolio if it bothers you that much, right? So be patient, guys. But the signals and the indicators and so forth are not flashing. The top is in. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be concerned, because we do have to watch this. Because if it continues to go further down, right, and the indicators flash, I will be on here telling you guys, it's over. It's over. Something is way off here. The cycles are broken. But we're not there yet, based on data, not my gut, not my feelings, not my hopes, not my dreams. You will see people talk from that perspective, right? But I want to talk about data. I'm trying to share the knowledge that was imparted to me from institutional investors working at a crypto exchange and learning the different signals and metrics that flagged, hey, the top is in. So in bull markets, you will have this type of volatility and shakeouts. But it's like what Warren Buffett said. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. There's a lot of fear right now, a lot, because it's a bigger thing than crypto. The tariff wars and the stock market and everything's down and what's going to happen and everything's going to go up. But guys, remember what happened in March of 2020, and remember what the markets did. The markets move on global liquidity. We've seen a bit of a jump in global liquidity recently. And we know the world governments, there's been talks. Canada's been talking about stimulus and much more. China's been doing stimulus. They're going to go back to money printing. There's no way around it. That is the fiat money system. And that's why when they raise those debt ceilings and, people get distracted, they don't even know what that means, right? They have to pay for all that stuff. And yes, they have to combat inflation at times. They've been the Fed's been in quantitative tightening, raising rates, stop buying securities and all these things, right? But notice the transition going back to QE. They paused the rate hikes, then they started cutting, right? And these things happen over years. And then Janet Yellen will do her liquidity injections, and eventually they will fire up the money printer. Quantitative easing is going to return. Asset prices are going to soar. Now, markets are usually forward looking. So even if, let's say, the Fed says, hey, we're going to start the money printer later this year, the market's going to go crazy, because the markets know that the money's coming. They see what's on the horizon. So they turn incredibly bullish. So I think that's what's going to happen at some point this year. And this year, I think we see the blow off top. There's going to be euphoria. Right now, there's fear. So there's going to be euphoria and much more. So hang in there, guys. Based on the data now, right? That you can rest assured that many of these things have not flashed that the top is in. Now, guys, we're talking probabilities here, not guarantees. Black swan events can happen that could change everything. But I go back to, once again, saying March 2020, one of the biggest black swan events ever. Even go back to the years of wars, what happened after those things, and as we came out, markets kept going up because this is a fiat system. It has to keep going because if the collateral, the assets go to zero, collapse of economies, collapse of civilization. I hope you guys understand that and how this all works. And a lot of the things you see in the news and the politics and the governments is a lot of posturing. And if you don't understand what's happening in behind the scenes with the actual markets and indicators, you get shaken out by narratives, right? The narratives put fear in you. It took me a while to unlearn those things, but I'm trying to help you guys unlearn those things. So that's why I see tariff wars. Obviously, it's going to affect prices and things like that and so forth. But I know what the markets are going to do. I know what the status quo is. You got to keep the money printer going. You got to keep the governments going, pay the debt, service the debt, and they all do it. All the central banks, guys. This is the system. So I'm still very bullish. But if there's something that comes up and I'm like, oh no, I will be on here saying, guys, I am bearish. So watch out for the bears. The bears are going to be in the comments. You idiot. The top is in. See, I told you, look at it dumping. It's going to go down 50% tomorrow. You're going to see comments like that. That's to shake you out. Go back to the data. If they're not showing you data, they're lying to you. So they're moving by emotions. We don't move by emotions here. So guys, I'm not even going to share crypto news. I just wanted to, give you an update about what's happening in the market and the different signals because the data is what matters, not narratives. So let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Guys, check out our sponsor, VeChain, one of the top enterprise blockchains out there. I'm a VET token holder. I'm bullish on this project. Many big brands and companies are working with them, such as Walmart, China, BMW, Givenchy, PwC, Boston Consulting Group, and much more. They're building great Web3 applications globally. So if you'd like to learn more, go to vchain.org. Also, be sure to sign up for my free email newsletter, 100% free on Substack. I'll be publishing an update tomorrow on the markets with a lot of data and charts and analysis. So it's 100% free. Be sure to sign up and grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto, if you haven't as yet. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. If you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.